Microjig, maker of the gripper. Work safer, work smarter.
I'm always trying to think of new ways to improve my filming of my podcast. There are certain shots within the filming of a woodworking podcast that can get kind of mundane. The same planer shot, the same joiner shot. So most recently I started incorporating dolly shots, and I think that's really helped. Another thing that I thought that would be cool to incorporate into my videos to give certain scenes more kick would be a crane. So I went on YouTube and I did some research, and I came across one by The Basic Filmmaker where he describes making a parallelogram style crane. And in the description of my video I'll have a link where you can go check out his video. The main body of the crane is made from 2 pieces of square tube aluminum that is 1 inch wide. Because the main body of the crane forms a parallelogram, as you raise and lower the camera stays in the same orientation. And this is a really neat feature. The camera attaches to the front of the crane just using an aluminum L bracket. The crane is attached to the tripod using 2 pieces of aluminum angle. So here's where the build gets a little tricky. You need to mount this whole crane assembly onto a tripod that can handle all the weight. Now originally I mounted this crane onto my regular camera tripod, but I found that it was a little too flimsy with all the crane movements. So what I did was I switched to a tripod that it's able to handle a little bit more weight. Now the tripod that I ended up going with is this tripod that I normally use to hold my 9 1/4 Schmidt Cassegrain telescope for my fellow astronomy nerds out there. Now this tripod is able to handle much more weight because of the size of the telescope. So this ended up working out really well. I needed to fill this void that's on top of the tripod, and I made a circle out of a piece of cherry, and I just inserted a bolt from the bottom. One problem that I came across with this tripod is this nub that sticks out of the top of the tripod, which is used for the telescope when you fine-tune the position of the scope. So I had to work around this. I attached one of my metal weights that I normally use to counterbalance my telescope onto a piece of cherry. Now this piece of cherry slides into this square aluminum tubing. Now with it positioned just right, I can have it balanced so that it raises the camera off of the ground and it's perfectly balanced. So if you get it balanced just right, you should be able to raise and lower the camera with just one finger. And if you notice, the camera is staying in the same orientation as I raise it up and down. And you can also move it left and right to get nice panning shots. So one thing that didn't occur to me until after I built this is that if you orient the camera the way I have it now, directly overhead, you can do some really cool still photography. Thanks for watching, guys.